So looking at our human experience and our life existence, if you will, the way we look at it is we are extensions of this life essence. We are diversities within consciousness. We are expressions, expressing. We are not independent of this life essence. We are not independent of consciousness. We are very dependent on it. But yet we have this seemingly separate experience. Kind of like this beautiful story. I won't go into all of it, but it's basically this story where this man is explaining this life essence to his son. How he describes it is, you've got these clay pots and they seem to be separate from the earth. However, they are creation of this clayness. They are creation of the earth's clay. They can never be separate. They will never lose their clayness. So you know the essence of these clay pots, or the essence of these clay pots. You know the essence of all clay pots. That's the same as us. You know the essence of all living beings as this life essence of this consciousness of the divine matrix. That's all of us. We're not separate, but we're seemingly separate.
I love that you call it life essence, because it's such a beautiful way. I'm a fan of Star Wars, and they call it the Force.
Right.
There's this force running through all of us and of us. And it was around before philosophy and religion and theology. It was around before books, before words, before humans. It's a natural, it's nature really. I see it as innate intelligence running through and of everything before time, space and matter, but also creating time, space and matter, and then sensations and perceptions and a human experience. But there's nobody separate from that, because there's nothing that it isn't. We're just the universe. We're life essence humaning, we're the universe humaning, we're consciousness humaning. 3 different words in my mind for the same thing. And so what's really helpful about this is, as we remember where we arise from, a locationless, timeless essence, we take the identity less seriously and we become lighter. Like there's a saying that says angels can fly because they take themselves lightly. And also what is enlightenment is kind of lightening up.
Yeah.
As we realize we're not what we think in our heads, we're the space thought flows through. As we realize that we're not separate from anything, and we're the everything apparently separating. To me, my personal experience of that, or the experience that happened, it was just pure, boundless, unadulterated love. Now, it may not be that, but as a human, the feeling I could point to would be love. Not a love for a something, but a something less love. I remember that feeling, and I heard somebody crying, and I realized it was me. I was crying. The majesty, the benignness, the all-inclusiveness of this. There was no division, there was no separate, there's no you and me, there's no special and not special. It was just all one boundless state of love. And I realized in that moment that the force spinning particles, the force collapsing and expanding universes, the force beating our hearts, it was all benign. And that was really new to me because I had not expected that at all. I was an atheist at the time. I really didn't believe in anything. So for that direct experience to happen was amazing. And I realised I'm not alone.
Right.
I'm not separate. And as we get in touch with love, we kind of go home.
Yeah, you sounds like you touched onto something connected or uncovered. That innate intelligence, that life essence that's so familiar and warm. And it's interesting because the second sentence in the Yoga Sutras, ancient text says the ceasing of the whirling of mind stuff. And yoga in itself, one of the definitions is the end of separation. So when you cease the whirling of mind stuff, when we stop for a moment, following our thoughts, the crazy train of thoughts, and I say for a moment because it's just our nature to jump back on that crazy train again, but then step off. When we stop for a moment, ceasing the whirling of the mind stuff, the thinking that goes on, we fall into that heart space. We connect with that life essence. There's an end of separation. There's a uncovering and embracing of this life essence that flows through us all. We don't feel alone anymore because we realize that we were never separated to begin with.
So this life essence we're talking about can also be called universal mind, or it could be called conscious or God or whatever you want to call it, but
the Great Spirit,
the Tao,
divine matrix,
the quantum field. People have thought up lots of things to call it, but it can't be thought up and contained in a word or a book or a philosophy or a teaching. It can't be contained within the teaching of one person because it's before all of that. And it's inherent within all of that. So everything we're saying about it isn't even really true, because this is our attempt to put it into form, and as soon as it's in the form, it's not what it is. But I remember one of my first teachers, Sydney Banks, saying that truth is kind of like an echo. Truth shouts in the valley, and then you're on a hill a couple of miles away and you hear an echo of an echo of an echo. You're hearing the echo, you're not really hearing the source. And so with that in mind, it's okay for people to not believe what you believe. It's okay for people to structure this truth in a particular way of structuring it. It's okay for people. You don't have to get other people to agree with you or believe you for it to be so. Connect with other humans beyond what they think to the fact that we're from the same life essence.
So it's the clayness of each and every individual clay pot that you see, broken tile, terracotta tile, you name it. There's so many different diversities within this consciousness, so many unique clay pots within the clayness, and it's seeing it as unique diversities, never independent of this consciousness. And that's the embracement that we're trying to get across.
Yeah.
Holistic love, holistic embracement of this innate nature. Highs, lows, ups, downs.
Embracing the human experience as a diversity, a resonance within consciousness.
Yeah.
Embracing the apparent form and the apparent formless as one. Holistically accepting and embracing everything and everyone just as they are and just as we are. That's what love is.
Yeah, a unique familiarity. Yeah.